So these sages are very praised by Srila Parikshit Maharaj that just like the stool, urine, wash, water, and all should be left at a distance, not attached to that with having attached bathroom, urinals, etc. Of course, that's our modern civilization. We learn, we live in dirty places. That is way for chanting Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Tatrapita Niyamita Smaranena Kalha, you can never stay clean. In your residential quarter, also, even within the house, you will be living with our own shit or stool, whatever. So that is if you put rules and regulation for chanting the holy name, then nobody will be able to do that in Kali Yuga. So Lord Chaitanya is so merciful that he has given us a chance. You may be sitting in toilet, but still you can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that will purify the soul, which cannot be purified even by water. So this things are there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given also clue that we should not be in touch with the dollars and cents, shillings and dollars, or any person who is in turn is touch with shillings and dollars and women, because that's suicide. So here, Parishit Maharaj is telling about all the sages who have got integrated, or they came gathering together. So he's addressing them humbly and telling that just like we keep away the stool, urine, etc. at a distant place from our living place, similarly, you have kept even the Kshatriya, kingly order and money, everything kept away from your place, and you went alone to the forest and lived there. So you are so pure. And he's also praising his own family. He's proud of his own family members, the Pandavas, because of the devotional service of the Lord. They have been, these all the great sages now have assembled to address the last days of how Parikshit Maharaj is going back home, back to God, and they would like to, see that, witness that. So he's proud about the Pandavas because of them. In his last stage, he is meeting all the great personalities of the world gathered together just for this one person. So he is feeling very grateful to his forefathers and grandfathers, and so he is proud. So this kind of proud is acceptable, because this pride for the devotees of the Lord is certainly not equal to the puffed up sense of vanity for material prosperity. So the first is reality, Prabhupada says. The other one is the false and vain. So this kind of proud is really, progressing. Remembering the pure devotees. Not as forefathers, but as a pure devotees of the Lord, because all these sages are here because of the pure devotional service offered by Arjuna and others as forefathers of the Parikshit Maharaj. So we'll go to the next verse. Srimad Bhagavatam Canto chapter 19, verse 14. तस्यैव मे अगस्य परावरेशो व्यासक्तचित्तस्य गृहेष्वभीक्ष्णम् निर्वेदमूलो द्विजसापरूपो यत्र प्रसक्तो भयमाशु धत्ते तस्मै समेघस्य परावरेशो व्यासक्तचित्तस्य गृहेष्वभीक्ष्णम् निर्वेदमूलो द्विजशापरूपो यत्र प्रसक्तो भयमाशु धत्ते तस्यैव मेघस्य परावरेशो व्यासक्तचित्तस्य गृहेष्वभीक्ष्णम् निर्वेदमूलो द्विजशापरूपो यत्र प्रसक्तो भयमाशु धत्ते. Synonyms, Tatsya, his, Eva, certainly, me, mine, Agasya, of the sinful, Para, transcendental, Avara, mundane, Isha, controller, the supreme Lord, Vyashatta, overly attached, Chittasya, of the mind, Griheshu, to family affairs, Abhikshanam, always, Nirveda Mula, the souls of detachment, Dvijashapa, cursing by the Brahmana, Rupa, form of, Yatra, whereupon, Prashaktha, one who is affected, Bhayam, fearfulness, Ashu, very soon, that they take place. Translation. The Supreme Personality of God, the controller of both the transcendental and mundane worlds, has graciously overtaken me in the form of a Brahmana's curse. Due to my being too much attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself from the world. Purport. Maharaja Parikshit, although born in a family of great devotees, the Pandavas, and although securely trained in transcendental attachment for the association of the Lord, still found the allurement of mundane family life so strong that he had to be detached by a plan of the Lord. Such direct action is taken by the Lord in the case of a special devotee. Maharaja Parikshit could understand this by the presence of the topmost transcendentalists in the universe. The Lord resides with his devotees, and therefore the presence of the great saints indicated the presence of the Lord. The king therefore welcomed the presence of the great rishis as a mark of favor of the Supreme Lord. So this is a very beautiful point that Parikshit Maharaj realizes. Parikshit Maharaj is already detached from anything and everything, and within no time, how otherwise he could just cut off everything and straight away come to the bank of the Ganges to seeking a spiritual master to protect him. Huh? Any other king, what he would have done, you can think to your best of capacity that when a king is cursed by a Brahmana to die within 7 days, what he will do. For example, we have witnessed in the same Srimad Bhagavatam Maharaja Nimi. He was doing a yajna to which Vasishta Muni was invited. But Vasishta Muni has gone to Indra Yajna because there he was more respected and more opulent, something, whatever reason. Okay, that Nimi could speculate or you could say that. But when he came down to start the Nimi has already started the yajna. So immediately, Vasishta Muni scourged Maharaja Nimi to, fall dead on the spot. So Maharaja Nimi got angry. He also cursed back Vasishta Muni that he will also fall dead on the spot. So this is Maharaja Nimi is such a great king that Nava Yogendras have come to advise him on the devotional service and his surrendered soul is a devotee also. So you can see that a king, what he could do, he could recurse if he's having the power, he is able to recurse, and Vasishta also died immediately, and he, got another body by his own mystic power, entering into the womb and all these things. So like that, if you see here, Parikshit Maharaj's case is quite different. When Parikshit Maharaj was also ordered that he will be dying within 7 days for, no mistake that he has committed actually, that as a sensitive as to give a penalty of death, that too, especially to a Maharaja, a Chakravarti of the whole world, who is the protector and provider of the whole world, and who is the representative of the Supreme Personality of God, who is a Raja Rishi, who is a pure devotee of the Lord, who is descended in the family of Pandavas, who are very pure devotees of the Lord. To such a person, a Brahmana skulls, a Brahmana is a Brahmana because of this kind of kings, this kind of Raja Rishis maintaining their status and everything. And then that Brahmana boy foolishly cursed the king, and the king did not recurse that let him also fall died in 7 days or whatever it is. No. So this is the difference. So Parikshit Maharaj is already a pure devotee and he has absolutely no attachment to his body or anything actually. But still, when a devotee is given a chance, then when he's experiencing, when he's performing devotional service representing his spiritual master or Krishna, Maya is always powerful. So here Parikshit Maharaj is realizing, of course, it is Krishna's plan to take Parikshit Maharaj back home, back to Godhead, as well as Parikshit Maharaj will be used as an instrument to all of us, the future Kali Yuga people also to receive Srimad Bhagavatam, a lot of plans of Krishna. So Krishna made a plan, and Parikshit Maharaj humbly submits that, he think that, okay, I am also allured by my opulent and everything, and I'm thinking that I'm going to permanently live here. But by the mercy of Krishna, the Brahmana by curse. So the curse is taken as a mercy of Krishna. Whereas Maharaja Muni did not take it as a blessing, but Parikshit Maharaj took the curse as a blessing, and he has thanked all of them, and he has thanked everybody who has assembled because they are all great. The most greatest of the acharyas were present there, such as Narad Muni and Vyasadev. So naturally, that Parikshit Maharaj is very obliged that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is present in the form of his representatives, perfect representatives. So he feels that this is the mercy of the Lord, that he wants to protect his devotees. And Prabhupada gives in the purport very beautifully that it is not Krishna is doing to everybody like that. It is not Krishna is doing to even every king like that or every Chakravarti like that. Okay, he didn't do it for Yudhishthira, he didn't do it for Arjuna, he didn't do it for anybody else there in the past. You can see he didn't even do it for Yayati, so in whose dynasty has come as Yadu. And nowhere he has done like that, but Parishad Maharaj has done, especially. So In Prahlad Maharaj case, he killed Hiranyakashipu. In Parishit Maharaj case, he took the Parishit Maharaj directly claimed. It's all different plans of Krishna. He does different to different devotees as per. But only to special devotees, as a special favor, will Krishna snatch away all the thing that will disturb him in the material world. Either he will snatch away the opulence and leave him to perform, or he will snatch himself away and take him back home, back to Godhead. Whatever, Krishna is independent, and is directly taking charge of his devotee. These devotees are not under karmic reactions or Maya. His devotees are under the direct protection and provision of Lord Krishna. He says, I will protect what you have, I will provide what you need. He says, Name Bhakta Pranashati, you need not very boldly declare, Arjuna, my devotee will never perish. All kind of promises are there vested in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And here are the proofs that we have how Krishna is directly protecting. Because he's killing or he's giving life or he's giving Aishwarya or he's taking away Aishwarya are all same. It's all transcendental. Divya, Janma, Karma, Chame, Divyam. Whatever Krishna does, this is always transcendental. And if one knows that itself, that person becomes transcendental. So that's a beauty of Krishna. So here, Parikshit Maharaj perfectly understood the motto of Krishna and he praises. So the Lord is giving special favors to, and Prabhupada is giving very beautifully in the purport that he does this to special devotees to show special favor. These are blessings. So one should be fortunate to have such a position where Krishna thinks of him and he does something to take him back home or whatever he wants to do. That's very beautiful. That's very beautiful. So we'll go to the next verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, verse 15. तमोपयातं प्रतियन्तु विप्रा संगा च देवी धृतचित्तम् ईशे द्विजोपसृष्ट कुहकस्तक्षको वा दशत्वलं गायत विष्णुगाथा तमोपयातं प्रतियन्तु विप्रा गंगा च देवी धृतचित्तम् ईशे द्विजोपसृष्टा कुहकस्तक्षको वा दशत्वलं गायत विष्णुगाथा तमोपयातं प्रतियन्तु विप्रा गंगा च देवी धृतचित्तम् ईशे द्विजोपसृष्टकुहकस्तक्षको वा दशत्वलं गायत विष्णुगाथा. Synonyms. Tam, for that reason, ma, me, upaya, come, take shelter of, pratiyantu, just accept me, vipra, O Brahmanas, Ganga, Mother Ganges, Cha, also, Devi, direct representative of the Lord, Dhrita, taken into, Chittam, heart, Ishe, unto the Lord, Dvija Upasrishta, created by the Brahmana, Kuhaka, something magical, Takshaka, the snake bird, Va, either, Tashathu, let it be, bite, alam, without further delay, Gayatha, please go on singing. Vishnu Gatha, narration of the deeds of Vishnu. Translation. O Brahmanas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul. And let Mother Ganges, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. Haribol. Purport, as soon as one is given up completely unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, he is not at all afraid of death. The atmosphere created by the presence of the great devotees of the Lord on the bank of the Ganges and Maharaja Parikshit's complete acceptance of the Lord's lotus feet were sufficient guarantee to the king for going back home, back to Godhead. He thus became absolutely free from all fear of death. So this is very beautiful purport here. It's given. How Parishit Maharaj is inviting his death voluntarily is very clear here. He is very much fearless. Just like in Kunti's prayers, we saw the Kunti Maharani was asking, let all this calamity come again and again, because calamity coming means seeing Krishna, going more close to Krishna. So that is how they take it, everything as a mercy of Krishna. So here Parishit Maharaj is witnessing, is evidently showing that all these wonderful devotees are assembled here is the proof that Lord Krishna is there. And he has taken Krishna into his lotus feet, in his lotus heart. He has taken the lotus feet of Krishna into his lotus heart. So he has surrendered to all those who are there, and he said that let that snake bite, whatever magical thing Brahmana created, come and bite me right now, because I am very much happy, because I'm hearing all the pure devotees assembled here, and I'm hearing Krishna Katha. So please sing the glories of the Lord and let me die with whatever means he wants. So he is very guaranteed that he will go back home, back to Godhead. He is going to have a very wonderful and successful attempt of his last attempt of his body. And, Ganga Ma is there. She's another pure devotee of the Lord. All the pure devotees are there. So where from the fear of death will come? Fear personified will fear Krishna. And wherever there are devotees like Ganga and the assembled sages, there are always Krishna. And Maharaja Parikshit is a pure devotee, and the Lord is there in his own heart also. So in such cases, there is no question of, fear, even fear of death. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canton, chapter 19, verse 16. पुनश्च भूयाद् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिप्रसङ्गश्च तदाश्रयेषु महत्सु याम् उपयामि सृष्टिं मैत्र्यस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्य पुनश्च भूयाद् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिप्रसङ्गश्च तदाश्रयेषु महत्सु याम् उपयामि सृष्टिं मैत्र्यस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्य पुनश्च भूयाद् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिप्रसङ्गश्च तदाश्रयेषु महत्सु याम् उपयामि सृष्टिं मैत्र्यस्तु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्य. Synonyms. Puna, again, cha and bhuyat, let it be. Bhagavati unto Lord Sri Krishna. Anante, who has unlimited potency. Rati, attracting. Prasanga, association. Cha, also. Tat, his. Asrayeshu, with those who are his devotees. Mahatsu, within the material creation. Yam, wherever. Upayami, I may take. Srishti, my birth. Maitri, friendly relation. Astu, let it be. Sarvatra, everywhere. Nama, my obeisances. Dvijebhya, unto the Brahmanas. Translation. Again, offering obeisances unto all of you Brahmanas. I pray that if I should again take my birth in the material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association with his devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. Purport. That a devotee of the Lord is the only perfect living being is explained herein by Maharaja Parikshit. A devotee of the Lord is no one's enemy, although there may be many enemies of a devotee. A devotee of the Lord does not like to associate with non-devotees, although he has no enmity with them. He desires association with the devotees of the Lord. This is perfectly natural because birds of the same feather mix together. And the most important function of a devotee is to have complete attachment for Lord Sri Krishna, the father of all living beings. As a good son of a father behaves in a friendly way with all his brothers, so also the devotee of the Lord, being a good son of the Supreme Father, Lord Krishna, sees all other living beings in relation with the Supreme Father. He tries to bring back the upstart sons of the Father to a saner stage and to get them to accept the Supreme Fatherhood of God. Maharaja Parikshit was certainly going back to God, right? But even if he were not to go back, he prayed for a pattern of life, which is the most perfect way in the material world. A pure devotee does not desire the company of a personality as great as Brahma, but he prefers the association of a petty living being, provided he is a devotee of the Lord. So the very beautiful purport again. So in the last two verses that we have seen, that Maharaja Parikshit was very sure that he is going back home, back to Godhead, because Krishna has chosen him to detach from all kind of material things and claim him back home, back to Godhead. This was understood to Maharaja Parikshit also, and Prabhupada also tells us, yes, it was plan of Krishna. And now, again, Maharaja Parikshit said, in case, though he will be going back to Godhead for sure, but in case if he wants to take another birth, he is also having that, in case if that has to happen, he has a pattern that let me take birth in the server amongst the association of devotees. Let me take birth as a son in the devotee family. Now, in this particular Kali Yuga, the golden age of Kali, where Lord Chaitanya's movement is spreading like anything, this Hare Krishna movement is everywhere. And there are people in Vaikuntha, people in upper planet system standing in line to take birth again in this material world in ISKCON devotees family. So this is not an ordinary event. Lord Chaitanya's pastime is going on, and all the ISKCON devotees are part of the pastimes of the Lord, and they are performing pastime by giving a chance for the Vaikuntha Vasis to get birth in the devotees family as their sons and daughters. And of course, demigods also taking this advantage of this particular provision. So this is the beauty of ISKCON. So ISKCON devotees are playing roles in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya's pastime has only begun. It has not ended. It's going on, and now it's in full swing. It is going on. That is where the ISKCON movement is spreading all over the world. And the Grahastha devotees playing a very major role here by giving a chance for the Vaikuntha Vasis also. That's just the purpose in my future. Grahastha devotees will beget Vaikuntha kids. So we can pray for a guru to come as a son. So that because Prabhupada wanted millions of acharyas in ISKCON, and these Vaikuntha Vasis are qualified as gurus, so they can come as the son and they can perform the duty of a spiritual master to expand this movement further. They understand the real value of this Krishna conscious movement, because Vaikuntha is the place from where you don't need to come back to the material world at all. But if they are standing in queue to come back to this particular four-headed Brahma's earth at this particular time within the movement of Lord Chaitanya, they understand the worth of it even more than Vaikuntha. So they are qualified to be spiritual masters here. So we can pray for those particular to Jagannath, to Gaur-Nitai, all the grahasthas, So when the Garbhadhana Samkara they do, they can pray for a guru to be coming as their son or child. So that's really would fulfill the mission of Srila Prabhupada and the instructions Srila Prabhupada gives to his disciples. And it's a very great service to our Guru Maharaj, who is creating a separate division to create million acharyas in ISKCON by taking Srila Prabhupada's desire so seriously. So this would help one and all. Thank you very much. So the next is 1.19.17, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, verse 17. Iti smaraja devasaya yukta prachina muleshu kusheshu dhira udanmuko dakshina kula aste swamudra patnya swasutanyashta bhara. Iti smaraja devasaya yukta प्राचीनमूलेषु कुशेषु धीर उदन्मुको दक्षिणकूल आस्ते समुद्रपत्न्या स्वसुतन्यस्तभार इति स्म राजाद्यवसाय युक्ता प्राचीनमूलेषु कुशेषु धीर उदन्मुको दक्षिणकूल आस्ते समुद्रपत्न्या स्वसुतन्यस्तभार. Synonyms. Iti, thus, sma, as in the past. Raja, the king. Adya, Vasaya, perseverance. Yukta, being engaged. Prachina, eastern. Muleshu, with the root. Kusheshu, on a seat made of kusha straw. Dhira, self-controlled. Udhan Mukha, facing the northern side. Dakshina, on the southern. Kule, bank. Aste, situated. Samudra, the sea. Patniya, wife of the Ganges. Swa, own. Sutha, wife of, which is the Ganges. Son, Nyastha, given over. Bhartha, Bara, the charge of administration. Translation. In perfect self-control, Maharaja Parikshit sat down on a seat of straw, with straw roots facing the east, placed on the southern bank of the Ganges, and he himself faced the north. Just previously, he had given charge of his kingdom over to his son. Purport. The river Ganges is celebrated as the wife of the sea. The seat of Kusha. Straw is considered to be sanctified if the straw is taken out of the earth complete with the root. And if the root is pointed toward the east, it is considered to be auspicious. Facing the north is still more favorable for attaining spiritual success. Maharaja Parikshit handed over the charge of administration to his son before leaving home. He was thus fully equipped for all favorable conditions. Hari Om Tat Sat. Very beautiful. You see, here it is very clearly mentioned that Maharaja Parikshit, as soon as he heard the curse, he didn't, He cut off all his attachment to the material things, appliances, wife, children, and everything. That's for true. But at the same time, he didn't act as a responsible person just because he's about to die. No, he has taken complete responsibility and entrusted to his trained son, entrusted the whole responsibility, and then he properly handing taking over has been done, and then he has come to this particular stage wherein now he has no more responsibilities on this material world, and he is prepared himself to go back home, back to Godhead. So this is called winding up. So the more many devotees, they are coming full time to ISKCON. So after coming to full time, sometimes a few regret that I did a mistake. It is because not proper winding up has been done. Now Maharaja Parikshit never regretted of coming back because he has entrusted his son with every responsibility, very nicely trained son. And he has really detached means, it's not throwing away or throwing oneself away from that thing which is attached. No, its proper maintenance should be done. And then we should come out. You have to accept everything in the spirit of renunciation. So coming full time is a very good thing. But coming full time without proper plan, without proper handing taking over, without considering the future of existing ashrama plus the new ashrama, and after we leave, what will happen to the existing ashrama? All these things are to be given consideration, just like Parishit Maharaj has done here. So entrusting to the proper responsibilities, and it's very, very important. So coming full time is very good. Okay, we don't need to come full time on the curls of a Brahmana like Parikshit did. We can come full time anytime we are ready. So we can pre-plan and we can establish it, and then we can come full time in the devotional service of Krishna under the bona fide spiritual master. So that is why we have to seek bona fide spiritual master's advice before coming full time. That am I ready? I don't know, right? So I have to ask my spiritual master. We have got a guru. Okay, Parikshit Maharaj is yet to take a guru. So he had to make the decision. But we are not in that precarious situation. We have got spiritual master. So we can always ask Guru that, is it okay for me to come full time? This is my plan. The Guru knows. He Trikal Darshi. He knows that, okay, what would happen to you in the future, what will happen to the person whom you leave there, everything he knows. So he will, advise accordingly, which will be beneficiary to you as well as others. So that's a process, coming full time is a very good but nice process. And it has to be taken under the bona fide spiritual master's instructions and guide. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, verse 18. एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेव देवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देव शङ्खा प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरं प्रसूनैर्मुदा मुहुर्दुन्दुभयश्च नेतु एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेव देवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देव शङ्खा प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूनैर्मूढमुहुर्दुन्दुभयाश्च मे नेदु एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेवदेवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देव सङ्गा प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूनैर्मूढा मुहुर्दुन्दुभयाश्च नेदु. Synonyms. Evam, thus, cha, and tasmin, in that, Naradeva Deve, upon the kings, Praya Upavishte, being engaged in fasting to death, Divi, in the sky, Deva, demigods, Sangha, all of them, Prashasya, having praised the action, Bhumau, on the earth, Vyakiran, scattered, Prasunai, he, with flowers, Muda, in pleasure, Muhu, continually, Dundubaiha, celestial drums, Cha, also, Nedu, beaten. Translation. Thus the king, Maharaja Parishit, sat to fast until death. All the demigods of the higher planets praised the king's actions and in pleasure continually scattered flowers over the earth and beat celestial drums. Purport. Even up to the time of Maharaja Parikshit, there were interplanetary communications, and the news of Maharaja Parikshit's fasting unto death to attain salvation reached the higher planets in the sky where the intelligent demigods live. The demigods are more luxurious than human beings, but all of them are obedient to the orders of the Supreme Lord. There is no one in the heavenly planets who is an atheist or non-believer. Thus, any devotee of the Lord on the surface of the earth is always praised by them. And in the case of Maharaja Parikshit, they were greatly delighted and thus gave tokens of honor by scattering flowers over the earth and by beating celestial drums. Your demigod takes pleasure in seeing someone go back to Godhead. He is always pleased with the devotee of the Lord. So much so that by his Adi Dhaivik powers, he may help the devotees in all respects. And by their actions, the Lord is pleased with them. There is an invisible chain of complete cooperation between the Lord, the demigods, and the devotee of the Lord on earth. See the beauty here, huh? The devotees of Krishna, they don't worship demigod. But the demigod voluntarily helping the devotees by using their powers, and they are also very happy with the devotees, and they witness here and they appreciate the devotees. This is the beauty. And those who are worshipping demigods, the demigods, even they don't maintain any relationship with them. Huh? This is the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his pure devotees. And here, Srila Prabhupada is writing that interplanetary communications were there. Okay, I remember one pastimes, one Guru Maharaj, Jayapatha Swami Guru Maharaj said in one of the lectures that when Duryodhana was uh, disturbing the Gandharvas coming into the lake, and they fought, Duryodhana fought, they tied Duryodhana. Hmm? And at that time, Yudhishthira and Pandavas, they were in exile at that area, and they witnessed it. So they wanted to fight with the Gandharvas and rescue Duryodhana, and Arjuna was asked by Yudhishthira to rescue Duryodhana. So Bhima was asking that why should we do? He has given disturbing us and he has got a right punishment. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said that, you see, between Duryodhana and us, they are 100 and we are 5. Okay. But for the world, for anybody other than our family member, we are 105 as one family. Within the family, we may be two. One side 5, another side 100. But anybody outside the family, we are one family with 105. So this Yudhishthira Maharaj has advised. And then Arjuna fought with Gandharvas and rescued Duryodhana. So like that it happened. And then Guru Maharaj was asking, so from this incident, what do you understand? Guru Maharaj was asking. And many persons have told different answers that we want to have integration, we want to have cooperation, we want to have collaboration very nicely, we want to have a unity in diversity and so many different points. And then Guru Maharaj said, okay, so this pastime reveals that in other planetary system, there are living entities. It's such a simple thing. So like this here, Prabhupada is telling about the interplanetary communications. So thank you very much. So we will resume our class tomorrow sharp at 8 o'clock. Till then, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patitaman Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vaishnav Pranam. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patithanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Hari.